What's going on, Fitted Culture? I'm Adrian Barone, and today's video is dedicated to my man Ali, who's been asking us to do an 8 with the mid fade. We got my man Ferno here, who we're about to perform that on. And before we get started, just wanted to let y'all know we do read every single one of y'all's comments, so please let us know down below what you would like for us to do next. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's jump right into this tutorial.
Alright guys, so to begin this haircut, we're going to run the number 8 throughout the whole top of his head and constantly combing the hair forward to knock it off, and then going over the same spot a few times just to make sure we get it clean cut. And make sure you are cutting against the grain at all times. Alright, now to remove some of the bulk from the side, we're going to get our number 2 guard in right under the parietal ridge in the crown area. We're just going to clean up to that point. And what this is doing, it's just cleaning up the canvas. That way when we come back and set our guidelines in, they're a lot more easier to see. Alright, now to set our first guideline right under that temple peak area using our trimmers, and we're going to come down behind the ear. That way it has a slight drop towards the back. And take this line all around the head, and on the other side just make sure it ends up under that same temple peak area. Alright, now with the clipper, no guard, lever all the way open, we're going to create our second guideline and take that up about an inch or so. Make sure you run this guideline parallel to the one underneath, that way your fade is consistent throughout the whole head. Alright, now with our number 1 guard, leaving the lever in the exact same spot, which is all the way open, we're going to create our third guideline and take that up again about another inch or so. Stay soft and easy with these guidelines, guys. That way when we come back to clean it up, it's a lot easier for us to remove them. Now with our number 2 and the lever in the exact same position, we're gonna repeat the same process. And with these higher guards, I always tend to exaggerate that flick out motion. That way we make sure to not dig into the parietal ridge and the crown area. Now with our number 3 lever still open, we're going to repeat the process, and then we're going to slap on our number 4 guard and finish off the whole setup, and that'll be the last number that we're going to work up to, which is the number 4. Like I said, this is the number 4, and I'm going to show y'all these motions right here. I'm just slowing it down so y'all can get an exact idea of what I'm talking about, coming straight up and exaggerating these flick out motions. Make sure you don't dig into the head, because that will create like a faux hawk. Alright, we're basically done with the setup. Now to remove our guidelines, we got the trimmer line, the half line, and the 1.5 line. Everything else, if you were soft enough, just kind of blend it in on its own already. Starting with our 1.5 guard, 3/4, which is basically you open up the lever and close it just a tad bit. We're gonna start with that top guideline and work our way down now. Now for that second line coming down, with our half guard and the lever in the exact spot, which is at 3/4 spot, we're going to flick out at that second line coming down. Again, 3/4 is just basically you open up the lever all the way and you close it just a bit. And this guard usually creates a soft line on top. So with the 1 guard and the lever in the exact same spot, we're going to clean out whatever that half guard created. Now with no guard, we're going to start with the lever in the closed position, and then in the half position, and then all the way open. And each of these notches, I'm going to just take them up just a bit. And for removing that last line, since it is more tedious, I like to work in sections. So I start off with this left side of the section, clean up and finish everything, and then I move on to the back and then repeat to the other side. Take your time with all of this. This is where the details come into play, with a lot of using the corners and different motions of the clipper. This all comes into play for this last step. As you can see, I finished the fade right there. Now I'm going to move on to that backside. Starting again with the lever closed, take that up just a bit, and then right here I open it up halfway and then take that up just a bit, and then I finish off with the lever in the fully open position. And this, guys, it's just kind of like my baseline. Certain scars and dents of the head usually leave darker spots, so I always come back at the end and touch up all the details. I did notice that if you break down this last line into small sections like the way I have been doing, your fades come out just that much better because you can pay more attention to smaller sections at a time. And just like they say, take care of the details, the bigger picture will take care of itself. I hope this process is fairly simple so far, guys. It just takes practice, it takes time. People do ask me how long I usually take on a haircut, and on the average client I take about 45 minutes to an hour, and that's with beard and eyebrows. But my motto has always been quality over quantity. I don't care to knock out 30 haircuts in one day. I'd rather focus on 10 and do the best of my ability on those 10 haircuts. We're pretty much done with the fade. Now I come back and touch up all the dark areas like I was talking about earlier. If there's any dents or any, just like I said, dark spots, I take them out using my half guards. Now this technique that I do at the bottom, it's just going to help me transition from the shaver to the rest of the fade. Now starting at mid-ear, if they usually keep a beard, that's where I start to remove the rest of the hair, leaving a faint line towards the top, so I kind of exaggerate that flick out motion as I get to the top. That way I know how high to take up my electric shaver. Right here on this back side, you can clearly see that faint line that I leave towards the top. Now using my shaver, I flick out at that faint line as I get to the top as well, just to make sure I don't leave another line on top of that. In the back of the head, the hair usually grows in different directions, so I do use the back of my hand in different motions just to kind of feel the grain to make sure I am shaving against that grain, just to get a closer shave. Now for the edge up, you usually start in the center as usual, and every few bits that I cut, I constantly comb the hair down just to make sure we're getting a clean edge up, just more precise, more detailed. Just adding a little bit of shape to his eyebrows and then moving on to the facial hair to clean that up. Now this bottom line for the chin hair varies from client to client. Some clients like the chin hair very full, and this guy in particularly does, so make sure to leave it as much as full, and others we bring it up almost up to the jawline. We're gonna go ahead and give him a small design, just a little slit on his eyebrow, and then bringing that up to the fade. Adding some shave gel just so we don't irritate his skin, and start the shaving. The mustache is a really thick area, so you always want to have your client kind of pull in his lip, and then you use your other hand and stretch it out even more just to get a smoother shave. Here, just emulsifying some matte pomade in my hands, and we're going to run that throughout his whole head. I'm a real huge fan of these matte pomades, guys. They really tend to bring out the texture on the hair. Now we're just gonna add some semi-permanent hair dye. The link is in the description to all the tools that we use in this video, guys. Feel free to check them out. Just in case y'all forgot, here's what he looked like before, and boom, here's the after. Let us know down in the comments below, guys, what y'all think of these fades, of these techniques. Did it help? Did it not? What was confusing about them? But more than anything, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.